Hello everyone. I'm inspired to make this video today to speak about the energy of this upcoming Mars Pluto conjunction. It's basically happening today, tomorrow is the exact conjunction. And what this means is Mars has moved to be exactly where Pluto is. And this happens every 2 years because the Mars cycle is a 2-year cycle. And the relationship between Mars and Pluto is really powerful, really potent. Mars corresponds to all the choices we make in life. We all have a sense of becoming. We all have a sense of direction, that our life is going somewhere. And so we have a personal will that allows us to say, I want this, I don't want that. I'm going here, I'm making this choice, I'm choosing to do this, and I'm not going to choose to do that. Whereas Pluto is also about choices, but in a little bit of a different way. Pluto isn't about the kind of choices you make where you're consciously saying yes this, yes that, no this, no that. It's really actually reflective of only two possible options. Pluto corresponds to the free will to either choose evolution or not, to cooperate or resist evolution. Those are the two choices. What's implied in that is that there's a deeper evolutionary process in this life. And we all have the opportunity to grow and to become empowered in our true essence. And the deepest level of Pluto is taking that responsibility, or choosing to take that responsibility, to see ourselves, to take responsibility for our own psychology, for our own deeper motivations. And ultimately, when we take Mars and Pluto together, we come to unravel and perceive that all the little choices we're making in our life, how we move about, what we're going for, it really reflects a deeper calling within our soul. The more we become attuned to what's true for us, what our path is, what our personal journey of awakening is, not our beliefs about it, not what we were told it is, but what it actually is, what's really true, the more we find ourselves becoming decisive and clear and content with our choices and with our direction, knowing that on the one hand, it's not in our hands to make everything come together. It's really just about seeing ourselves clearly and having the compassion and the trust to make decisions in harmony with our inner authority, with our inner truth, with what is really true for us. I find that when my choices align with a personal sense of authenticity, that invites the universe to open up for me and guide the way. But when I'm keeping many options open, when I'm afraid of saying, this is what I'm doing, or maybe I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm not doing that, when I hold this sort of ambiguous energy so that all the doors are open, it vibrationally communicates that nothing can really open up to me, because I'm not offering that certainty and that clarity. And a part of Mars, a part of the journey with choice making, is simply often just going for it, doing it and finding out. One of the challenges though, this is Mars in Capricorn, one of the challenges with Mars in Capricorn is being able to locate and actually own our own inner guidance relative to the ways in which we've been conditioned, what we've come to believe about who we're supposed to be, who we should be, what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. Certain desires and certain wants are wrong, are bad. I'm wrong for wanting them. And so very often what we find happens is we repress our true desires because of a deeper conditioning that basically said it's not okay to want that. So often within the Capricorn archetype, we're trying to mold and move through life, but all the while fitting into a mold that isn't really true for us. So Mars in Capricorn, now coming to the very beginning of this new cycle with Pluto, at the very first level is actually about a deconditioning of and a becoming aware of how our actions have become conditioned, and the beginning of unraveling that. To see more clearly, what does it look like when I'm not judging and shaming what is truly natural and genuine for me, my actual path in life. And so often, And I've been finding this in my own relationships and a lot of conversations I've had with several people. I've noticed this theme coming up. What's particularly true in Western culture in particular is that so often our no's don't really mean no. And our yeses don't really mean yes. There's a certain politeness or appropriateness that we've been conditioned to follow that basically says you don't mean what you say. That what you say is really just more of a social way of relating, but it's not actually true. And therefore we don't really trust one another. And we don't really live in a way where we're offering clarity, where the clarity of our true desire is okay, that it's appropriate, that it's valid. There's almost a shame about just the truth. So I've been really reflecting on this, and this is my prayer and my blessing and my own intention, and I share this with you. That our no's mean no. That our yeses mean yes. That our I don't know, they mean I don't know. That our silence means we're silent. And in our relationships, other people's no means no. And their yes means yes. And their I don't know just means they don't know. And their lack of response means they haven't responded. When we really get to trust that our highest priority for ourselves and for one another, and we affirm this, is to live in alignment with our own truth, to feel clear, to feel self-responsible and dignified. All right, the video ended there. So I was basically saying, when we affirm that our highest priority in our relations is supporting that we are all in our own integrity, then it opens up the space for great ease. Just things get to become a lot easier. And the Saturn, which is the ruler of this Mars Pluto conjunction, is in Sagittarius, and it's coming into a very tight semi-sextile. And that really does reflect where there can be that challenge between what's sort of spontaneous and wild and natural within me versus in relation to the conditioning and the mold that I'm supposed to fit into. And this is really a time to embrace the freedom that's opening right now, to make choices that build a life rooted in our own freedom and authenticity. And we get to share that with one another by being mature, by being clear, and taking responsibility and owning ourselves, owning our truth, and acknowledging where we haven't lived in integrity, and really the hurt and the pain that it causes when we're not clear. We don't ever have to make ourselves have a defined answer. I don't know is its own answer. I don't know what the truth is. And a big part of the healing of the shame within Capricorn is very often this strong judgment in society that we have to know, that we have to be someone, we have to have it all figured out. And the truth is we really don't. The truth is we sometimes can't. There's a cycle to all things, and not knowing has its own valid place in creation. So I'm going to close this by sharing a song with you. Because in essence, even when we are moving forward in our life, there's always this experience of we do what we can and we surrender the rest. And if in this moment, regardless of how much we don't know and we don't understand, if in this moment we're living freely, we feel in integrity and in peace with our relations and our decisions, then there's a profound spaciousness, and I find a greater capacity to be okay with the unknown. And may we experience that. May we offer that to one another. It's forgiveness. It's trusting that it's good enough to be genuine. It's good enough to be authentic. That clears the space to live now, which is the starting point. Dancing in the joy, dancing in the joy, 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 joy. of the unknown, of the great unknown. Da da do do do, da da do do do. Dancing in the joy, dancing in the joy, 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 joy of the unknown, of the great unknown. Da da do do do, da da do do do. Dancing in the peace, dancing in the peace, 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 peace of the unknown, of the great unknown. Da da do do do, da da do do do. Dancing in the peace, dancing in the peace, 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 peace of the unknown, of the great unknown. Da da dum dum dum, da da dum dum dum. Om da da dee dee, om da da dee, om da da dee dee, om da da dee, om da da dee dee, om da da dee, om da da dee dee, om da da dee, om da da dee, om da da dee dee, om da da dee, om da da dee dee, do do da dee, om da da dee dee, om da da dee, om da da dee dee, om da da dee, om da da dee dee, om da da dee, om da da dee dee, om da da dee, om da da dee dee, om da da dee, om da da dee dee, om da dee dee, om da da dee dee, om da da dee dee, om da dee dee, om da 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 da dee. Dancing in the joy, dancing in the joy,